Alrighty. Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. There we go. What we got going on? Hey, I was looking at Turkish lira. There's an odd tick on the Chicago quant that the clearinghouse is definitely, most of the time all the wild ticks match up, but this one doesn't. But I'm not going to worry about it. We'll adjust it later on. Let's get over to the dollar index. There's the dollar index reaching for the 105s. I don't think we're going to see much more than this, but I'd say a little bit higher. What did I say a couple days ago at this point? I guess it's going to run up to the 105 and a half, 6, something like that. The country is getting used to the idea of 5% interest rates. That's where it really comes down to at this point. It's I showed I guess 2 days ago we showed around the world where we got 5%ers around a few different places now, the United States in particular, and especially like 6 month and 1 year kind of orbiting in that area. 1 and 2 year, not even 2 year. I think it was just 1 year and 6 months and 9 months. So money is figuring that it's going to go to the 5%, as we like to call them, the bond vigilantes. I myself just look at them as the over-the-counter market. It's the bond over-the-counter market. My first sip of tea this morning. Or is it my second? It's my second sip of tea. And so the bond market is moving. It's telling us one thing. And a lot of people have been saying now for like 4 months, the bond market says one thing and the stock market says another. And that's very rare to find the stock market deviate from the bond market. But it does it. It does it every so often. It's doing it now. There's no doubt about it. And that's what's happening here. So at this point in time, I think that you have to just kind of just understand that, I guess I could take it deeper into the conversation about interest rates. And I got this text this morning from an old trader that's, way older than I, and said, is Japan going to sideswipe us? In other words, it's like a car driving down the road, another car comes along and slides over a little bit, hits your car, and then keeps on going. In other words, it's side by side, just a little tip. And he says, what is going on with that? Their one bond is just trading a little bit over half a percentage point, and it's supposed to be between a quarter and a half, and I think it's like the 5 year or 10 year or something like that. And they have zero. We showed you how they have zero interest rates at this point, still in Japan. And I said, well, Japan functions more like a closed society financially compared to a lot of the other societies. As much as, we looked at Germany for a long while, and the German Republic was trading bonds at, minus 0.38 and minus 0.25, a quarter percentage point or 3/8 of a percentage point or even a half at one point. It's now in the 2s and the 3s. So it's adjusting to this interest rate situation because of the inflation. But Japan is not doing that. They're not really taking it the same way because they're a much more closed society. And Germany has to play nice with the rest of the European Union. So it's got to do something like that. Just like I think we found one British pound bond. Is it up in the 4s or the 5s? Let me go back to those bonds again. There was a few. I think the Italians were up in the 5s. And I was really surprised. I couldn't find the Spanish bond market, which is really a surprise to me, because I thought it was a pretty big bond market. So how come they're not putting out quotes? I don't know. But this is this is classic. This is definitely classic, and there's no way of dealing with that more than what meets the eye. Let me just see the UK bond prices again. I'm not going to throw them on the screen, but yeah, there's the back months, like the 30 years at 4%, the 20 years at does that mean he's not hearing me? Am I not hearing me? Yo, Robin.
You
Yeah, you're not hearing me?
Not at all. You're not even out. Oh,
Get out.
not on my machine.
No, I hear you. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I don't know.
There's your voice even.
You hear my voice on the phone.
No, that's on the recording system. I mean, on the website.
My voice?
Yeah.
How could my voice get on the website?
Because I guess because it's over the phone. So it's coming from the phone to the microphone to the website.
Oh, I'll have to reboot this.
Exactly. Roger Dodger. All right, little technical difficulty there in Chicago. All that snow. All right, so now, so the British market is hanging in the threes. Oh, I see what it is. The 1 year also is at 4%, and the 6 month is at 4.3% almost. It's like 4.285. So, England is reflecting. UK is definitely reflecting the interest rate factor. And let me see where the Italian bonds are. I thought the Italian bonds were doing the same thing. Yeah, Italian bonds are doing the same thing. They're up in the 4s, 4.5s. The front month, they're only showing a 2 year. They're not showing 6 month or something like that. And then, let's see. Unfortunately, I don't. Where's the rest of these bonds? I don't understand why there's no Spanish bonds. The French, I think, are doing the same thing also. The French bonds, not as much. The 1 year is reflecting 3.2, and the 30 year is reflecting 3.2. So they're not reflecting the very short term. We're not seeing the 6 month and 1 year at this point. Oh, we are seeing the 1 year in France, and it's at 3.2, just like Germany. So that's what's really going on, is that the interest rates have gone much further than we were thinking they were going to go. And because of that, it's taking the pairs trades and twisting and turning them a little bit. And that's just the action of it all. Now, what we can do is let's go over to, let's just put the bonds up like that. There we are. And let me kill that just in case there's volume coming in from that website. All right, now from there, let me just double check too. I want to make sure there's no background noise coming in from that. No background noise. Okay, good. All right, now from there we zip over to the bonds. Let's look at the bonds. I mean, that's what's freaking out the pairs, and you can see here the 30-year is trying to get in. It's trying to get into the daily buy. We're 3 weeks easily in a weekly sell with no problem. You can see the fast broke down right along with the slow. And you can see this peaked out here up in the 132, almost the 133 area. And now the bonds are trading at 124 area. So when the bond goes down in price, interest rates rise. And that's how that works. I know it's always confusing to a lot of people. And that's why I say it out loud. It reinforces it in my brain also. And so there's the 30-year, and then the 5-year, we follow both of those right there. There's the 5-year doing the same thing. And it's not even getting into a buy. It's just pushing down, where it's the same game, pressing down, pressure, coming down from the 110 area all the way down to the 106 area. And I'd imagine that yield, let me just go see again what that yield is for the 5-year. I think the 5-year is must be like 4.5. It has to be something like that. Why aren't we not reflecting? Where's the there? Okay, so the 5-year is reflecting an interest rate of 4.14, and the 6 month, here in the States is yielding 5, and the 1 year is yielding over 5. So that is the action that we see. Alrighty. So from there, we are going to slide back into the currencies and take a look at those. Let's go take a look at the euro. And there is not there, right there. I'll go like this. Let's find Mr. Euro. And there's the euro. You can see the euro has been sliding down. We put that white line
Market
in there.
data connection lost.
I kind of forget what our logic was at the time, but we had some type of logic
Market
there.
data connection re-established.
Let's just make sure that's all good. It sounds like it's good.
We had some type of logic there.
So, that is the action that we're seeing here. Is that the currencies pairs not falling far, but they're falling, and we've gone from like 110ish area down to 105ish area, that type of thing, or let's say to 106, and we're starting to see that pressure too. It took a little bit longer for the cable. Let's put it up on J4X too. Right there. So you can see, same situation where it's been pressuring. See, I'm gonna move this over a little bit. Can we do that? Maybe do it like this. And go like this. There we are. You can see that. See how it's pressing down, coming from the 110s down to the 106ish area, just underneath 105.70. Now, on cable, the British pound against the dollar, it's been more steady in its actions. Not a lot, but it's a little bit more steady. Let's put it that way. Matter of fact, I was really surprised. You can see only 2 days in a sell there. Let's put it over here. There. As you see the pressure right there. And you see the weekly has been in a sell since that same topping area. But the everyday action has been kind of sideways down, sideways up. No major thing, and it seems to be supporting this area. I think they're all adjusting pretty well. They're trying to raise their rates as best as they can. It's hard to get countries to raise rates. People are borrowing money. Governments are borrowing money. They don't want to pay higher interest rates. And the days of the market, the market forces themselves controlling these things of interest rates and so forth, are kind of past. Those days are all gone. We don't really see that anymore. Now it's central banks making decisions. We've got the bureaucrats making decisions for our lives and economics, and that's why things are so upside down and they're just spending money. Timothy! Alrighty, let's get your chart up there. I was waiting for you to show up. Let's see, where is that at? Is it here? Is there one in there? Let's see if there's one in there. Not there. Okay, let's go like this. We open this up. Open sesame. And there we go. There's the 1 minute. Let's get the 15 minute up there. There's a 15 minute. I was watching that thing break down this morning. I noticed night trading. This is Europe right here starting. I'm going to put a little block on there. Right here. There's Europe. There's Europe and then the United States. That's kind of like the action, like that. And that's good trading. And then you can see how tight it gets in the Asian hours. The British pound and the Asian hours are... Here's the close of the U.S. You can see how nice this is. And there it is again. There's European hours right there, and it's nice and action, and then it goes into the European hours, and it gets kind of sideways and quiet. I remember saying to somebody, the Asian hours are just not what they used to be. It's unfortunate. I used to love trading in the European hours. They were fun. It was profitable. Now don't see that at all. It's the markets there have become. You get a little good action out of Japan, and then after that, it gets really quiet. All right, now let's paste this here. Paste, like so. And then disconnect it like so. And go like that. And let's see if we can move this over. Like so. There we go. And then we move this one over like so. And this way you can see the action going on there like that. And we'll get rid of that box for you. And then you can see the Fibonacci still hanging out down at that bottom end of the Fibonacci. Oh, there you go. Yesterday I was smacked. Today I am humble. Okay. I didn't find you not humble yesterday. What'd you do after the broadcast? Start trading like a wild man or wild woman or wild what? No, I didn't see that at all. But you can see here it was interesting, and we can see yesterday's action. We can make this bigger for a second. There's yesterday's action, which is really nice. You can see it, it followed the math pretty well. Had a nice little breakdown there. Got back into the buy here. Another little breakdown from that big. That was the news, remember, right there. And then it climbed back up in a very short period of time. I think what was that? What was that? That was at what time was that? That was at 8:45 Eastern Standard, or 8:30, I guess you could say, to about an hour and change. It climbed back up and it got into the buy there, and it was really sloppy, and then it melted away again. Hit that area there, hit the 50 percentile there, and broke down. So seems like the best trading is about the European, like I guess the best time to trade this product would be something like the Swiss Open and the German Open, and Hamburg and London Open and that type of thing. I guess that's the best times to trade this product, all the way to the close of the U.S. And then after that, you call it a day. There's the Metho 2000. Always reminds me of my physics days when I see Metho 2000. We did a fundraiser back in the 70s for the Sigma Phi Sigma, which was the Society of Physics Students, fraternity, sorority, whatever you want to call it. It was both female and male, and we did what was that crazy? They had this crazy something 2000, I think it was, something Theater 2000, and we did this fundraiser for it. And every time I see Metho 2000, I can see me in the room where we have the projector and the movie playing, and oh my God, I can still see that. Ugh. We were like the second largest physics department in the country, or on the East Coast. Held the trade from yesterday. It made 80%, then reversed. Well, that's good. So you made 80%. That's a good thing. Yeah, really. It was something Theater 2000. It had a robot talking to. You could see the theater, and they were sitting in the theater seats, and they were the only ones in the theater, and there were like 2 or 3 characters, and they were making jokes about the movie playing, and something Theater 2000 or 3000 or something like that. Yeah. Every time I see Metho 2000, I think of that. It just hits my brain. We used it to do a fundraiser, to make money for the fraternity, the society. I think we're a society. So SPS, and I was the vice president of the society. So. I got beat out by a PhD student by about 5 votes. All right. So that is that. Mystery Science Theater. That's it, Robin. 3000. That's exactly it. And it's the M and the thousands that get my brain going all the time. No, the trade moved 80% and then reversed on me. Okay. Well, in intraday trading, take your money and run. Take your losses and run. Just don't get knocked out of business. That's the key. Don't get knocked out of business. In other words, don't blow up your account over one trade. Never blow up your account over one trade. No reason for it, especially with options in the universe. There is no reason for it. All right. Let's see. Where else are we there? And so. Oh yeah, so let me fix the screen again. There it is right there. Uh-oh. Are we getting hit by a solar flare? Flare causes temporary radio blackout. NASA Space News. Let me see what's going on there. How old is this? I'm not seeing... on Friday, February 17th. Yeah, well, we already know about that. That was late. NASA Space News. I know it blacked out South America for a little bit. All right. NASA is always behind us, Electric Universe people. Never ahead of us, that's for sure. All right, so there's the cable. And you can see the cable's in that daily cell, and there's some pressure on it. And then you can see what Timothy goes after. Here's the intraday. And it's been in the cell since, like, right up in here. Since what? Since, like, 3 hours ago at this point? What time is it now? So that's, what is that? That's 8. And so it's like 3 hours now. It's been in the cell since... Let's put a line in there where it went into the cell. Where is my line? There's the line. Lime in the coconut. There we are. Right there. It went into the cell right there. We're just going to put that line all the way up. It's still in the cell. That's the thing. There we are. So it's been in the cell since there. It's not coming out of it so far. It's a Mystery Theater 3000. Let's see. Timothy says in the trade movement. Metho Disco 2000. I was a bouncer and a ringer for the baseball team for Mansion Disco down in the Wildwood. Back in those days, Bruce Willis was a bartender, not a movie star, and he played on who did he play for? The Penalty Box. That's right. Let's see. Lost 4%. I trade 2% of my account on any single trade. Well, that makes sense. Well, at least you only lost 4%. That's not too bad. You can make it back. So, yeah, just make it back. That's all it comes down to. Just take it slow and steady and learn from the mistake. That's all. So yeah, there it is right there. You can see the cable breaking down, but not a lot. And as we said before, right here you can see where is it at? Right there, and then we go like where is it at? It's tightening it up. You see, it's been sideways for months, really. I mean, it's like, and you gotta wonder if it's going to go back up again once the interest rates stop rising around here. But Timothy, again, smart. 4% is nothing. I mean, it's it's something, of course, no matter what amount in the account. But at least you're able to get back into the saddle, back in the saddle again, and ride into the sunset. Go get 'em, cowboy. That's right. Trade 'em. All right, now from there we'll go over to the Swiss. See what the Swiss is up. I notice they're all in buy. This is in a buy too. Look at that. It's rampaging. But again, I don't, I'm a little, I think I was thinking, where was I thinking we were going to see? Over here somewhere, right? Right. I think it's going to go challenge this topping area right there, which is like the 10, and that's what it's doing now. It's challenging it as we speak. They did it by the end of the day yesterday, and it's doing it again today. That pressure is on there too. So you can see the action. They're making another low there on the cable dollar pairs trade there. And let's see, what else do we got going on there? Let's take a look at, let's see, the yen. The yen is kind of interesting in the sense that, that I heard from one of the old guys on the floor, Robin, about they sent over Grant's. We were looking at Grant's newsletter. He gets a Grant's newsletter. It's a bond newsletter. And he's in his 80s. And he, not Grant. Grant's probably in his 80s too. No, Grant I think is in his 70s. But, the trader is in his 80s. And he was, saying, what's up with the Japanese market? Look at those bonds. And because Grant was talking about that. So, anyway, there we go to the Swiss. Let's march our way over to the yen. Let's see what the yen is up to this morning. Oh, we didn't put Swiss up on J4X. Let's put Swiss up there too. There it is right there. And it's been marching up and away from that 90-ish area right there. And we're at 93. Not really looking for too much further. I'm thinking they'll find a way to stall out there for a little while. Hey, George. Doc, in your oil quant sent out this morning, you said that the thin dotted teal color line. Yeah, let's go to that. We've been working on that. I've been working on that for over a year and a half now. And I'm going to develop a rule. I was talking about it yesterday. Let's go take a look at that for you. Here we go. Right there. We'll make it bigger too, like that. Let's just go like that. So yeah, there we go. Now let me read the rest of it. So Doc, oil quant morning, you said the thin dotted teal color line on weekly is an algo line. Yeah, it is. Is that right? Yes. And what it is it's a algo 3, and the green and white histogram here, right here, the green line here on the weekly and the histogram is a 5 algorithm. It's a 5 of my algorithm, okay? And the green, the teal or cyan, matter of fact, let's do this. Let's make it a little bit thickerish so you can see it better once I get to the mouse of it. Oh, mouse. There we are, like that. And right there you can see this. A lot of times what happens is that, it's here. Let's put the 0 line in there too. There it is. There's the 0 line. So when it broke down in here, which is interesting, here you can see the green breaks down in it, but that does not, which is interesting. It's very rare to see like that. Then it breaks down, and this tries to climb back up. And when both of them are joined in together, you get the real easy trade. And then what happens is that when this dashes across, and this dashes across the 0 line, the green 5 and the teal or the cyan bluish thing here does it. You see, that's the easy trade again. You get the upside action, and then it breaks down together here, and you get that. It's probably the best trades. I'm starting to learn it. It's the best trades. I've been watching it. I wrote the program in 2018 or 17, 2016, 2016. And I've been experimenting with it since. What year is this? 2023 now, right? So for six years, almost 7 years, 16 or 7, I think it was like 16 or 17, I started experimenting with it. And 16, I think it was. And I didn't know how to deal with it for a while. I couldn't understand what it was trying to tell me. And then around 2020, 21, I re-looked at it again and started trying to understand it. So we started using it a little bit in watching it, not using it like committing money to it. But going into 21 of this year, I finally figured it out, what it was trying to tell me. What a fast algo does against a slow algo. Now, in this case here, this oil market is really choppy, because these contracts, I think it's got something to do with more of the contract life than it does the volatility. But I'm wondering if a 5.7 would be better or a 5.8. But this does reflect it compared to, I can say this, I can show you a couple of examples where it is really good on the stock equity side. It leads it. You can see it leads it here on the S&P. This is the S&P 500. It gets through it, then this gets through it, and then when they join in together, boy, especially above the manifold, also understanding how it acts with the manifold. That's part of the challenge. Let's go back to the oil. Let me point this out again. So, no, that's the June contract. See, June is so much smoother from it all, but even then, it's very jagged, the oil contract from it. let me go back to the front month. So in other words, when they both break down below the minus right there, boy, is it free money. It really is. And it's amazing. And the same thing on the upside. In this case here, this breaks the top side, but this does not. Then this breaks the top side, and this does not. And sure enough, you get the failure. So in other words, it shows you on a longer term basis, week to weeks, it's very fleeting at times. And it warns us ahead of time. Now here, going back, you can see here, they both come down to the zero line. Let's move that zero line up. This is the oil contract. And when it starts to break down and the green is in between the manifold, you get the pressure. It really incorporates the manifold with the two plots. It's really amazing. And then vice versa. It starts to turn back up and they get in between here, and it shows you that the strength is in there, but it's not like just overnight or something like that. It goes on for days and weeks. It shows you that strength. And then, when both of them are in the zone, in the sense of getting, into the plus above the zero line, it's very clear. I think it just shows you how, like, when I look at other products, currencies, stock indices, I go into a lot of these and look at them. It's an amazing how odd it is, how true it is, how true it tells me the truth of the trend. It's a tough balance to place trades at break even after a nice move in your favor, especially in intraday. Oh, no, I know. That's why we always say, don't let a trade handcuff you. You got to fight that. I used to talk about that here on the webinars. Don't let a trade handcuff you like a set of handcuffs. In other words, forget about it. Go on. You know what? Just like I always like to compare this to European football. Soccer. Those guys go out there not on Wednesdays and Saturdays, okay? They go out there every day of the week and they train and they practice, okay? And then the real trade comes on Saturdays or Sundays, whenever the match is. That's the real trade. That's when it counts. But they're always training. They're always practicing. Same thing on a Wednesday night for a championship league, where they're playing on different countries have games during the week, and do a round robin, and so they're practicing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. They're practicing all the time. Traders have to do the same thing and not get handcuffed. Okay, not get handcuffed. Understand what I mean there, Timothy? So in other words, you made the bad trade. Why did you make the bad trade? You got greedier? Did you go beyond what you practice all the time? Did you stop paying attention to a technical tool that you've been using? What made you stay in that position? And then throw it away. In other words, just forget about it and go back to normal again. George says, seems like then maybe we'll give you a partial weekly signal than just the only green signal line, and thanks. Yeah, like I said, I'm getting ready to write we've been doing it since 2016, and was it 2015? 2015 or 16? I want to say actually 2015, to be honest. 2015. Wrote the code in 15, looked at it, couldn't figure it out, figure what it was trying to tell me at the time. 2017, I tried to reincorporate it. I figured out the manifolds, got that figured out from it. Then, like 2020, I watched it off and on at times, I even mentioned how I was even confused. I thought that the teal or the cyan was the 5 and the green and the white was the 3. I had it confused even in my head. I went back and looked at the code one day and went, oh, it's the other way around. So it's a 5 really. So it should be really called Super 5 3, not Super 3 5. But it is what it is. So I find it very interesting. And when it comes to oil, it is real jumpy. But then so is oil. I mean, oil trades at an incredible volatility. I think I've played with a 5-7, and I'm going to play around with that more once I get more time. I've got too many side projects going, but right now I'm locked into following the 3-5. So I'm glad you asked, and I am always very happy to talk about it out loud, because then I get a chance to think about it harder, and that's the most important thing. Is to, for me to have a conversation about it is more important than me sitting here in my office. I'll say it to Robin. Robin will say something to me, and then we go 5 other directions because we're doing the charts, and we got, he's got clients to deal with and the whole bit. But we try. We try to get a better flavor of what that all means in the end, and that's exactly it is good that you asked, and I'm very, very happy if you do ask. Trust me, I'd rather have conversations about it. All righty, let's see. Oh, there we go. George says handcuffed to me means my pride won't let me take the loss, and I should be taking it. Taking, Doc. Yep, I agree. You got to be careful about that. Traders just have to be careful. Remember, trading is a mental game. That's why we're really dependent on technical analysis. We try to make things robotic and try to do them over and over again, and then you make more money. And when you drift from that, that's when you get in trouble. George says, yeah, I'm going to watch closer the cyan color line. Thank you. Yeah, and as I said, there's a lot to be said when the two are in between the manifold itself. And then when one breaks out, like in this case right here, see right there, at the same time you get a spike out of it. I guess that is the spike right there. And they're both in the buy, so the spike is no surprise to you. But the one, then it breaks down. It starts to break down again and breaks the manifold. And this one, the green, never made it out of the manifold. And what do? You get that weakness. And then you can see it goes, what I would refer to, see how the green here is down? I call that oversold. And that is oversold. And that is oversold. See how it's way down, especially with the two of them underneath, away from the negative manifold here. It's way oversold. I mean, if you put some bull spreads on, in other words, you get a daily buy here, and it's like, wow, try to ride that puppy. And it goes from, what's that from? It goes from 77.81 over a 4-day period to 80.70, goes to 80.78 high from 70, where's the close there? 77.81. So, I mean, that's, what is that? Basically almost a $4, is it 80? Yeah, 80. So it's a $3 move. Imagine if you had bull spreads on for that. I mean, you're taking very low risk, and it's not in the weekly buy, and it's telling you that it's way oversold. And every time you get this extreme, like there was one there where they're both down off of this big sell-off here. Can you see that? Yeah, I think you can. And you can see, the extreme. It keeps on, it's sliding and sliding. It's below the manifold here, and then the 3 turns up, but still doesn't get through. And then it gets through here, and the green bounces. And what do you get out of that? Is there a daily buy there too? I think the daily buy is right there. Let's move that daily buy over. So it goes into a daily buy there, falls back into the sell. So it's kind of like, again, it's an option trade. Remember, my math was created for options. I created this, or not created it, but I created it for physics. But I mean, I used it in options. So in other words, you're limiting your risk, and you're removing the stop loss trap that occurs with hard delta. When you're long a contract or a spot, and you put a stop loss in, and it hits the stop loss and then goes right back to where you were expecting it to go. With the options, you put a bull spread on, and you don't have that problem. So then it goes, where's it go? It goes into the sell right here. Imagine if you'd gotten long here, you would have gotten at least up to here. And then for 2 days, it's pushing in the wrong direction, and then it goes right back into a buy Then we can take that buy again right there. And there's your buy right there. And you catch that whole ride. There's another beautiful ride. What's that? That's a $6 move in oil. It's an incredibly powerful product. It trades very powerful. Lots of volatility. I think it's always in the 30s and 40s volatility-wise. Just incredible. It has its own volatility. It can go up 20% in a day, and it has no meaning. It just goes up 20%. In other words, you're in a product and it goes up and down 15, 20%. That's incredible every day, and it does that. Let's see. Timothy says, there was an oversight on my end, failed to consider a hidden order block on the 1 minute. At least I learned from that. Good. And that's, like I said, I like to compare it to athletics. And that is you basically, that athletes, professional athletes are training look at this. Look at your chart. The 8 o'clock, U.S. 8 o'clock. It's only got 3 more minutes left in it. It's battling to get into the buy there for the moment, trying to get back to that zero line on the Fibonacci. Athletes train for 6 days a week, if not 7. They train, professional athletes, depending on what position they're in and what they do. Like pitchers, I think they actually take a day or 2 off, rest, and then loosen up, and because they're using their arms, and or bowlers for those that are talking cricket, and quarterbacks with throwing arms. But in the end result is that what it really comes down to is that traders have to do the same thing. You have to train and train and train, but you're not always trade and trade. So you train, practice, but not always physically trade. And you save the good trades for the physical game. The competition. Does that make sense? That's the way I've always looked at it. Alrighty. Where did we leave off? Oh, we were looking at where were we? I think we were looking at Swiss, right? Yeah, we were looking at Swiss. So let's jump over to yen. And if anybody wants to ask a question about anything, just do it. Don't worry about it. I don't mind jumping like a bed bug. Now here's you can see it here with the currencies. I'll tell you, it does a great job with the currencies, that little cyan thing going on. It does a really good job. Oh, look at that. Did the 15-minute happen yet? No, but it's backing off. So it's going to stay in the sell. So it's been in the sell since 3 hours ago. And it's just... Now, what we are going to do, Rob and I have been talking about it. What we're going to do is we're going to put we're going to get this thing much more automated, and charts are not going to have to be sent out anymore. What they're going to be is you're going to be able to sign into our website, and you're going to be able to see the charts live. So in other words, when you subscribe, you'll see the charts live, the ones that you're subscribed to. You'll be able to just look at them live. And we're working on that now, to put together a server and a connection, and then it will go from there. So I'm just tangled up doing stuff at the moment, but we think we've got it all figured out now, and then we'll just implement it. And so you'll be able to sign into the website with a password, and you'll be able to watch the contracts that you trade. So Timothy and Kenya will be able to tune in and watch a 15-minute live all day long. George will be able to do the same thing. You'll be able to tune in and look at your oil whenever you want. And then we'll just go from there. And that'll make it easier for everybody. And it'll be more profitable too. You'll be able to look at your dailies. And if you subscribe to an intraday, then you can, trade it much easier with our mathematics. All right. From there, and let me do this too. Let me just explode this now that we got the 15-minute there. So you can see we're still in the sell for another 15 minutes. And then what you can see here is, how the, where's it at? There's the zero line. And there's the yen. Is this the yen? No, this is the Swiss. And you can see here how the tealed line stayed underneath. it stayed underneath it and got up inside the manifold, and so it was showing some strength, and the little buys and so forth, and they were okay. But it's not, and then at this point, it doesn't get into a buy. It's really interesting here. And then it does get into the buy. And then, and you can see both of them are in the buy here. And boy, do you get the rocket shot. This is where it launches itself like off an aircraft carrier. Takes off. So, interesting. Like I said, I do a lot of homework. I do a lot of research. And like I said, I wrote this in 2015. It wasn't 16. It was 2015. And by then 2019, I started playing with it again. I played with it off and on and couldn't figure out how and what it was doing. I tried to use it differently. Then it took a while, but since the middle of 21, I've had it up on our charts. I first started putting it on the chart in the halfway through 21 or something like that, or even at the beginning of 21. Now I'm incorporating them on all the charts. Every time I see a chart that doesn't have it, I fix it. Now I've got some written rules in my head. Now I just need to put them on paper, and we'll go from there. All right. From there, did we have the yen yet? Yeah, that's the yen. So yen is getting up there. We thought we could see that 136 area, and there it is. We're starting to see it. Let's put it over here, and there's the yen. And you can see here, let's put the 0 line in there too, so you can see it a little bit thicker. So you can see here it broke through the teal/cyan, broke through here, and what do you get? You get beaucoup strength, meaning a lot in Vietnamese. And then you can see the slow backs off and then jumps through again. And what do you get when that thing jumps through again? Zoom to the moon, Alice. That's right. All right. Let me see. Now, let's go. Where do we go from here? We go over to mathematician. I'm also answering a math question. Doing a market tech thing and a mathematics thing. Sometimes I'm, I do physics too in the middle of the webinar, and you don't know it. All right. So from there, where we go? Oh yes, we go to the Turkish lira. Let's see what the Turkish lira looks like right there. Now we got that wild spike. I need to clean that up because I use J4X too, and J4X is not normally. When I get a wild spike, it has a wild spike. But J4X is not reflecting that wild spike. There it is right there. I'm a little surprised. I turned off the Hinky Ashkies even. It's not in there. So I don't understand why it's taking it all the way down to 16. Someone got messed with, that's for sure. Yep. We're going to have all that. We're going to get that going. It's not tomorrow, but we now figured out the technology of it without being uber expensive. So usually it would cost you $1,000 or $2,000, like $2,000 a month to have it live, and at least something was around there, and it was too powerful. It gives for the price tag. I used to charge $100,000 a month. So I mean it's too powerful. A cost, too big a cost for the average trader, but I think we got it all. I know it. We have it all figured out now. We have it all figured out, and you'll just be limited to what you can see, and so that's all right, but not give you the whole universe. You can see whatever you want to see, and it'll be under control, much easier control. All right, let's see. Where do we go from here? We go from Turkish lira is, the money's coming into it. We'll clean that out. Matter of fact, let's clean that out now. That's driving me totally bonkers. Let's fix that. Let's see. Where do I go? No. There. Yeah, let's fix that. I'll show you how it looks, how it should look. Let's put it this way. Let's see, is that it right there? That's it right there. Euro Turkish lira right there. Edit. No, I don't want to do ticks. Daily. Load. And that needs to be fixed right there. So let's make that. That'll be the low, right? Yeah, that'll be the low. There we go, like that. And then we go like this, and that should straighten it out. There we go. That looks better. That's the way it should be. Someone paid something. That's the way it was on J4X too. I mean, it went down, but it didn't go down like a maniac, you know, down to 16. So you can see here that pressure's on. That money's coming in from all the chaos that's going on in Turkey. All right, we got some news coming out too. This is a big number. January personal consumption expenditures is coming out in the next 8 minutes. 7 minutes and 7 minutes, 6 minutes and 55 seconds. So under 7 minutes, we're going to get a bump. So traders, whoever's trading intraday right now, be careful, because we're going to get some news that could jam the market. Okay, the global markets will move. All right, now from the Turkish lira, we slide over to, where do we go? We go to the Canadian. Let's see what the Canadian's up to. Oh, let's fix it so that Timothy can see the product he's watching. You can see right there. And this is how it'll look. You'll be able to tune in live and look at it this way, like that, Timothy. You'll just look, you'll be able to go to a spot up on our website, sign in, and you'll be able to see the chart just like that. See, George says silver has been a great short. Yeah, I shake my head. It's like as if we don't have any inflation or something. Silver has been a great short. Should have took your quant signal there instead of all the opinions on how silver is going to pop. Yes, it is going, but when it did pop, problem is did it get to the let's go to silver. We'll go over there. You ask, we look. Let's go to silver. Silver. Robin saw the finger in it and saw the pop, and it did give us a pop. The problem is that it didn't have any staying power. That's the problem. And let's see, we tighten this thing up like this. Let's see, where's it at? Right there. So we had the finger, we had, the good signal and all like that, and it popped. It did what it's supposed to do. We thought it would get to like maybe 20. We thought a big trade would have been up to 26.5, but it barely got to the 25s. And I remember being very disappointed, and it got choppy. You can see how choppy it got. And then, that's classic at the bottom or top. They like to get choppy. And then, we slid into the weekly signal. Oh, I'll tell you, this teal color, I call it cyan, you call it teal. It's fine with me. I'll use both. It warned very clearly. It really works well with the energy, the metals. It works really well with the metals. You can see right here. Look at that. It broke underneath the manifold, and then when the two of them were underneath the manifold, you start to really see you see the red, the cells start to really get some traction. They really do. They start to really dominate. And then they both join in underneath the zero line. Let's emphasize the zero line there. There's the zero line. I've back tested this, a couple years. This thing is really, really good with the metals. And then it really breaks down. When it takes that out, forget about it. That's like last week when I said to you that the Dow Jones Industrial 30 had broken that line, and the NASDAQ and the S&P did not. And I said, you're going to get pain. So I got short on Friday, and I come in, and what do? They knock it down 600 points on Monday. It was like, that's what gave me the confidence to jump ahead. Just seeing that alone gave me the like, oh yeah, you got to get short in that. And then they tried to bounce it back. And then I think Robin tried to get out of his long at the same time on Friday, I think it was, because he was, it was like, that action was coming in, and then you can see here, it's riding it, and it's still riding it underneath the manifold, no less. That's the scream of "Watch out below." That's what that is. Watch out below. That's exactly it. Let's see. On the pop, yes. Let's see. Yeah, signal. There's instead the silver going to pop. Yes, it is, but when? Not apparently. Yeah. I guess once we see these things. Well, first of all, when that teal starts to turn through the bottom manifold, that nonlinear manifold, I like to call it. That's my name. I invented it. It's got that Rocky Balboa thing going on there. But anyway, it's yeah. Yeah, I invented that. Hey, yo. And so, you can see right there that it's doing it. It's making the turn. We'll see if it gets through it. But here we are challenging the $21 area now. And look at it. We went into the sell here on a daily. We got one little buy into this area here as the teals tried to turn up a little bit. It was starting to flatten. And then got into a buy. Next day goes into a sell and smack-a-doodle again. It's back down. Oh, let's see what time it is. We've got 1 minute to go to action. Oh, no, I didn't mean to do that. We'll just throw one of these in there like that again. There we go. There we are. And so we got 1 minute to action. What time is it? We got 1 minute and 15 seconds. And then we're going to get some action. ACTION. Look at this. This thing's trying to flatten out. Look at this, Timothy. You got your cable 15-minute trying to flatten out, get up to the zero line. Look at that. They're punching it even more. Does that mean that they think interest rates are coming down, or is it the classic like yesterday, as I said? Traders like to take it up before they take it down. Yeah. Take it up before take it down. Yeah, imagine how the farmers will be. Farmers will be able to go in and look live at the charts, at different times of the day, and instead of just two fixed pictures, which is okay, but being able to see it live like that, buku. All right, so at this point, what do we got? We've got 15 seconds, 12 seconds, 10 seconds, 8 seconds, 5 seconds, 2 seconds. Bang! Yeah, they tried to take it up. Oh, look at this. Let's see. Cable. Smack! Smack. Traders always do that. They like to take things up to take them down. You see the S&P 500? That's the is that the S&P 500? Yeah, that's the S&P 500. Oh, let's go to an intraday for that. That's even more funnish. It's even more funnish. Oh, that is the intraday. Okay, cool. That is the intraday. So, yeah, that's a smack-a-doodle. And I think 74 was the low yesterday. I think that was the... We're looking for 3,960. That's what I'm looking for as the next bottom in here. So, that's the action. See, Timothy, they tried to do it again. Take it up to take it down. They started flirting with it right there, and then smack. Smack-a-doodle again. Okay, let's see what the numbers came out to be. Now that you see it live here. And the answer to the question is... Come on, give us the numbers. Here it comes. All right, they're just they're yakking now. All right, so the PCE index in January was, I think they were looking for 4.6. I think that's what it was. They were looking for 4.6. And the answer is Inflation is alive and well. They were looking for 4.6, and it's 6.0. Spending and consumption. Oh my God. Oh, an internal one was 1.3. So January, I see it was January personal spending was up 1.8, and they were looking for 1.3. So that makes it up 6%. That's even more than 6%. I guess they're just throwing out numbers all over the place now. In other words, I'm seeing bunches of the statistics. Either way, the number was bigger. Welcome to inflation. Remember, it's transitory between the year 2021 and the year 2025. That's what makes it transitory. And the core was 4.7, and they were looking for 4.3 estimated. So that's what's going on. It's kicking wampum. It's kicking wampum. I don't know. Let's see if they get to the. Let's see. What's today's low is 3,972. So we're only like 12 points away from that in the S&Ps. Okay, that's not too bad. Alrighty. Maybe I'll take off the last of my shorts today. I still haven't taken them off because I'm waiting for at least a daily buy number to say, Mar, take the profits. Take it all off. I've only taken like 2/3 of it off yesterday when it made that 74. Hot, hot, hot. January price index, 5.4%. Hot, hot, hot. Hot, hot, hot. Hot, 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 hot. Yes. Inflation is transitory from 2021 to 2025 when the crazies in the White House leave. And then it'll become transitory. It'll go away. Since they're the ones generating it. All right. Anyway, traders, any other questions? If not, I'm getting out of here. Getting back in the saddle again. Get back in some trading. All right. This is Doc from North America. Oh, what's today? TGIF, right? Thank goodness it's Friday. Hooray. Hooray. All right. And we will catch you all tomorrow, Monday, same time, same channel. So, happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. And they named she's a great mathematician, Katherine G. Johnson. And they named at Langley, this is at NASA, I think. I think it's at Langley. It's probably Langley. At the CIA. They named the building after her. So, hint, hint. Sputnik, you were like 14 years too late. Anyway, this is Doc saying happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Later, later, traders.